Bless up, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, I saw this recently, and, well, so...
Hey guys, in light of seeing that a rapper from Migos died, I just wanted to go ahead and make a video about something I have a unique experience in. So, I directed a bunch of rappers, people like Gucci Mane, Snoop Dogg, Lil Yachty, the list goes on and on and on, okay? I learned a lot of things, and I have left the industry largely over my political beliefs, but there is something I want to impart to people to hopefully, make some sort of change happen. So I have a challenge to rappers, and I know some of you still follow me. I know a bunch of the celebrity blogs still follow me from trying to get news from music videos and things like that. So here's the truth. The truth is this: a bunch of young black male rappers keep dying. You know who's not dying? Record executives. The record executives that push for them to continue to make songs and create a culture that is obsessed with death, drugs, and sex. Period.
Now, whether I should commend this man for coming out with this has me at a toss-up. Why? Well, because this has been something that has not only been obvious to see, but has been something that's been expressed since hip-hop's conception, and is still said even now.
From Sacramento, and it's safe to say that they had quite the reputation. They would promote their artists as dangerous criminals, and they did everything in their power to sell this gangster image to the masses. We already talked about the disturbing album artwork that they released, but what you might not know is that Black Market Records had actually done this before with another artist named X-Rated. Rated was another rapper from the Sacramento area who went to prison around 10 years prior for murder. Black Market Records, his label at the time, released 4 albums while he was behind bars, and although it was apparent that X-Rated was involved in most of this, it's also very clear that Black Market Records were willing to market his music in whatever way possible.
This has been a thing since forever, though I will give the man his props, cause some of you need this spelt out. They do not like you, don't you get it? They're basically telling you to strive to be their entertainment, irrespective of the consequences or not. This is a constant issue through the black community in any industry. They want everything about you but you. They empower you to destroy yourself for their own profit and entertainment. Like, this ain't even a joke. Like, be for real. How long are you gonna perpetuate this zeitgeist? They make your men bullet bags and your women hoes. They've managed to convince the women that taking off their clothes is black empowerment.
Williams shared the racy image on her Instagram page on July 29th, 2022.
I really wanted to showcase Black excellence and body positivity.
They tell you that it's empowering and strong as a black man to not be masculine, as if masculinity didn't win wars. Not the only thing, but you get the point. While also promoting the idea that you aren't a real nigga unless you've been shot or imprisoned. They promote your complete and utter destruction, because it makes money. They will send your own kind to aid in it. It's the reason Suge Knight is sitting in prison. And while I do love rap and Death Row Records, a lot of those motherfuckers should be in there with him. Tupac is dead, for fuck's sake. Like, just think about it for a second. They profited off your ignorance. Is it worth it? Is it? And even those rappers were just being used. Nah, is it worth it? Is it worth it though? The prisons make billions off your ignorance too. Is it worth it though? White supremacists have more friggin' ammo to use. Is it worth it though? They perpetuate the image that you're an ignorant, ill-mannered, ill-tempered, uneducated, violent fuck. But is it worth it though? Your children are fatherless just like you. Is it worth it? Gucci bags and Lambos, your community is poor. Is it worth it though? You know what? Shout out to this man, because let's be real, he's never going to be able to work in the industry ever again.
The industry's obsessed with it, but those record executives, they're not dying because they don't push this culture on their own people, but they're encouraging you to push it on yours, and they're paying you handsomely to do it. The reality is, I know a lot of you. A lot of you are good people, you're family guys. You're not the image that you put out there to the world. Why? Why don't you be the example? Stand up. I challenge you. Be the example. Make music about the culture you want to see. Don't just get online today and talk about how, whenever a rapper makes it, his own people take him down. Don't just make those videos. Don't be sad. Don't rest in peace. None of that stuff. Be the change you want to see. Inspire it in your community. Reach out to other rappers and say, we have to stop. We're being used. You've been used for a long time, you know. They create this paradigm to make you believe that you're so important and your celebrity status is worth so much, but in truth, you're a pawn in their game and you always have been. The government has wanted to hold down communities of people in different ways through different methods for a very long time. Their method in the Black community has been to use entertainment to create a culture obsessed with death, drugs, sex, and money, so that they could create a false paradigm of what happiness and what success really was. And in doing so, they created a world that also made people more dependent on government, and as a result, gave themselves more power. The record executives that push you to do this, to go and continue to profit off the backs of your work, they're in cahoots with the elite. They're in cahoots with the government. They want you to think you're important, but in truth, you're just doing their dirty work for them, so stop. They've empowered you in ways that are real. You have an audience, you have platforms, you have the ability to make change. So go against the grain together. They're more afraid of you all together standing up and creating a new culture that's built around family, faith, freedom, doing the right thing, valuing life, than they are of anything else. So I challenge you, use your power to do the right things. If you continue to do the same thing you've done, more rappers like this are going to die. How many have to die before you change the culture?
And as you can see, personally, this pisses me off. It always has. Because, well, sure enough, this is racism. Of course, people want to talk about racism. They point towards using slang or the air conditions.
The top of my head, why Americans are addicted to air conditioning.
So many reasons, but the most infuriating one is that our buildings are built wrong. In a great stitch, Desiree Stevens talked about how it was because of white supremacy and colonialism.
Yeah, remember that shit? Or even, the traditional family, the nuclear family. That's a product of white supremacy, apparently. Or get this, even stoicism. Product of white colonizers.
Their feelings of emotional desperation is personal weakness, as opposed to a symptom they're experiencing from white imperialism.
The reason why men are stoic all over the world is because of white imperialism, apparently. No man had an ounce of stoicism until the crackers came around. But I'm getting off track here. It's not only planted in the music industry. Apparently it's in a part of other things, not black-centric.
Diet culture, fat phobia, and systems of oppression have created false hierarchies of food, and it shows up everywhere.
For instance, harmful thought patterns like earning food through exercising, or that dessert is the reward for the punishment of eating vegetables.
Remember that you do not need to earn food. With neutrality in mind.
The only foods that are bad for you are foods that contain allergens, poisons, and contaminants, or food that is spoiled or is otherwise inedible.
Eat without guilt, regardless of what society says.
Then again, black folks are most likely to suffer from food-related illness such as diabetes and high blood pressure. So I guess maybe this is even part of their underhanded tactics. But you know what? Stop. They are trying to kill you. They do not want you breathing on this earth any longer than they would like you to. You exist to give them money and die. This fascination with your own destruction is illogical. It will hurt you. They dumb you down and tell you how to think while they emasculate, ill-inform, and murder you. They promote the idea that your people should divest while simultaneously telling you to have children out of wedlock. No, you can't say that. They aren't telling you. They're implying it heavy, but they aren't telling you. Because then, all those gut feelings would have some ground. And you can't have the sheep leaving the sheepfold. Messed up part about this is, probably gonna go blast some Mob Deep. Damn. Still nigga.
This food is destructive.
This food is your culture.
Then the culture is destructive.